Welcome to this edition of the Who's Doing Guyana Business Show. Again, this is where we make sure that we bring to you weekly business education, and we also are able to introduce to you many companies that are operating in Guyana and are delivering fantastic results to the market. Now, to get us kicked off today, I would like to share with you about our leadership conference coming up this Wednesday. This is Leadercast Shift, and it is a full day of leadership knowledge, leadership information that can really help you and your team move to the next level. Before I get to that, we got a lot of great feedback last week about the information that we were sharing when it comes, especially when it comes to the leadership games that I was mentioning. And I just wanted to share with you very quickly on one in particular that portions were speaking about, which is the communication game. And this really helps when working on being able to communicate at every single level in the organization, connecting with anyone, regardless if it's inside or outside of the organization. And then also making sure that you can really, as a leader, increase your impact to really move people in a direction that is better for themselves and again, better for the organization as well. These games are usually played over a 2-hour period. They can be done at our location. And as usual, they can also be done at your location. And this really allows you to get people learning more about leadership in a fun and educational environment. For those of you who don't have your tickets as yet to next week's Leadercast event, I would encourage you to call our office, 223-5583, so that you can still secure your spot to attend our leadership conference coming up. And again, the lessons there also will be fantastic. And every year that I've attended, I keep getting more and more ideas as well. Again, so for those takeaways, new approaches to leadership, and access to exclusive content. The speakers are world-renowned. However, they are producing this content just for this specific event so that leaders, aspiring leaders, can really get the most out of attending such an event. You have the contact information there. Please ensure that you reach out to secure your spot. I'll leave you now with some information about the communication game and about Leadercast. And when I return, I'll be joined by Coach Keon, who will be talking to you today about the importance of public speaking and how you can elevate your public speaking skills. See you after the break.
What type of communicator are you? Do you tiptoe around or shoot right to the heart of the matter? How's that working for you? The truth is, everyone is surrounded by different types of communicators, and your way of sending and receiving messages may be the perfect way for some, while your same way may meet with confusion or resistance in others. Discover how you communicate and how to better communicate with your team on an authentic level when you play the John Maxwell Team Leadership Game, Communication Edition. Gather around the table, roll the die, and challenge yourself and your company in a game setting that naturally lowers personal barriers. The communication game is a safe and fun way to get to the heart of how everyone in your sphere communicates. Increase satisfaction, efficiency, and affect your bottom line when you play the John Maxwell Team Leadership Game, Communication Edition. Send and receive in a whole new way.
Tired of the hassle of running around looking for solutions? Worry no more. WM Services is here. We specialize in heating, ventilation, air conditioning, electrical, and generator services. As a residential, commercial, and industrial dealer, our trained and licensed team is waiting to bring you peace of mind. Make the call now. Telephone 611-4326. Email wmservicesgy@gmail.com or visit our website, www.wmservicesgy.com.
Gupta Security. It is our vision to be the leading provider of innovative and comprehensive security solutions in Guyana. We have a team of well-trained and disciplined professionals to protect you and your assets and give you the peace of mind to focus on what is most important to you. Our services include armed and unarmed services, consultancy, assets and individual protection, patrol, virtual surveillance, armed escorts, and cash in transits. Gupta Group, let our services be your advantage.
Syntec is a new wireless line my vehicle. I've been working from Linden to George Somerville on the highway. I have Vaxi and the oil performing very well. The vehicle performing well. The oil level do not drop. So I'm advising you to take a try with Syntec.
Thank you very much to the companies who are really presenting their products to the Guyanese market, and I would encourage you to test them out. I'll now be joined by Coach Keon Smith. Coach Keon, I look forward to hearing from you today on public speaking, and this is one of the skills that we have in common. It's how we got to know each other, and it has really allowed both of us to benefit significantly from our public speaking skills. So looking forward to hearing more about that from you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Doerga, and to our listening and viewing audience. If you find yourself in a position where you are running from the opportunities to stand and speak before an audience, do you find yourself in a position where you get up there, you're starting to speak, and the nervousness takes you over that you either forget what you want to say or you find yourself fumbling or lost for words? Then public speaking is definitely a skill that you would want to develop, as this can serve you really, really well, especially as a business leader. We have a public speaking seminar that will help you when it comes to understanding some of the tenets of public speaking, getting some tips and techniques of how to really articulate your ideas and your thoughts and be able to translate those into words and actually deliver them to your intended audience. As I would quote from one of my clients, is that it's being able to creating a bridge between your mind and your mouth so that your words can come out fluently and express yourself in a way that you really want to. So public speaking is usually among the top fears in the world. For us as individuals, it is important for us to keep in mind that sometimes even professional persons have challenges when it comes to public speaking. But it need not be that way if you are willing to subject yourself to learn the skills that can help you to deliver your ideas and your thoughts effectively and clearly. So this particular seminar allows you to get your foot in the door so that you can improve your fluency when you are communicating to your intended audience. It could be even communicating within your organization and to your colleagues. Now, public speaking in itself, it is a skill that once you develop and you have that ability to express yourself confidently and with ease, can bring you great rewards. Those rewards can either be personal rewards, which means that you know that you have that self-confidence, you feel great when you have to go and deliver a presentation, and especially when you get those feedback, those commendations from persons who would have paid attention to your presentation and they're coming and give you that proverbial tap on the shoulder. It can also be rewarding professionally, where you can get the opportunity to represent your organization at various forums simply because you are willing and you demonstrate the capacity to actually stand and deliver. From a professional perspective, it allows you further the opportunity to market and to sell your organization in a positive manner. Think about this for a moment. You are representing your organization and you get the opportunity to speak before an audience. They just called you up to say a few words. And you go up there and you're fumbling to even speak about your own organization. Just think about what assumptions the audience will be leaving with. So, this in itself allows you to really demonstrate your capacity as a professional. Secondly, if you are indeed a professional and you are asked to speak about your scope of work and you're not able to articulate yourself clearly, persons may have doubts about your ability to actually deliver. So, to remove to a great extent some of those assumptions, developing the art of public speaking can be extremely rewarding as a professional. And finally, it can also be rewarding financially. Think about being paid to speak at an event, delivering a keynote address, or making a presentation in some form or the other. Now, while I do understand in Guyana here, it is not part of our common culture as yet for persons to be paid to speak. With our development that we're currently experiencing, I am sure this is soon on the cusp of the horizon, where you can benefit financially from being an expert in your field and not just being an expert, but being able to deliver and articulate yourself really well. Now, I remember personally from my experience, I've had opportunities where I've been paid to speak in the past, and considering my current profession, I am continuously being paid to speak. So it is up to us to ensure that we continuously sharpen our public speaking skills so that we can benefit from the rewards either personally, professionally, or financially. So, as persons are thinking about this and really going, I really need to develop this particular skill, I would encourage you to get registered for our public speaking seminar. And this is going to be on August 12th and 19th. And it starts from 1 p.m. That is going to be a Thursday from 1 to 4 p.m., where you can come and start the journey of developing skills and techniques that you can use to quickly articulate your thoughts and be able to deliver them to your intended audience. So don't be stuck in that rut. Don't be hiding behind the scenes. Step out and step up and be able to express yourself fluently. Dr. Doerga?
Thanks for sharing with us, Coach Keon, on the art of public speaking, and we look forward to working with you on getting much better at public speaking. I know that training is coming up this Thursday, and I look forward to persons really taking the opportunity to become much better public speakers. Thank you very much. I'll be now joined by Ms. Rodlin Sample, and she will actually be talking today about the importance of personal protective equipment. So let's hear from Ms. Rodlin Sample.
I am Rodlin Semple, the ISO lead consultant at ACI Consulting Services. Over the past 5 years or so, we have seen an upsurge in the use of personal protective equipment, known as PPEs. But what are personal protective equipment? Personal protective equipment are basically tools. Equipment, it can be gloves, it can be any apparatus that is provided to help reduce the impact of a hazard to an employee. Examples of items that fall in the category of personal protective equipment can cover helmets, lab coats, harnesses, safety boots, glove, hairnets, etc. When we're going to choose personal protective equipment in an organization for employees, first of all, you need to determine what hazards exist. This is done in what we call a risk assessment. A risk assessment is whereby you examine the different hazards that exist and you identify the controls and what needs to be done. In the risk assessment, it allows you to say whether or not you can tolerate, mitigate that hazard. Personal protective equipment is usually the last defense for combating a hazard. There are other controls you can use. For example, using a less dangerous substance. You can limit the exposure of that person to the particular hazard. You can institute what we call engineering designs, which will prevent the person from being affected by the hazard. So coming back to personal protective equipment, first of all, you need to conduct your risk assessment to determine the type of personal protective equipment. For example, if within your organization, somebody's going to be using caustic soda or corrosive materials, you cannot use a simple latex gloves. You need to use a specialized glove that will help protect that person. So first of all, we establish that you need to conduct your risk assessment. In choosing the personal protective equipment, you need to take into consideration the structure or the body type of that person. You should not give a short person a very long gun. Why? Because it can distract them. Personal protective equipment, once used, need to be inspected before and it needs to be cleaned after. Some organizations have an inventory which tells them how often personal protective equipment are maintained. The responsibility is upon every employee to take care of that personal protective equipment for the period the employer would have specified. Further information on how you can maintain personal protective equipment or how you can choose personal protective equipment depending upon your activity, give us a call on telephone number 501-0110 or send an email at iso@actioninvest.org.
Camille's Academy Inc. We are the premier provider for private education in Guyana, and through our mission, our excellent team delivers a well-balanced curriculum that integrates technology and innovation to our educational programs to inspire children to reach their highest levels of success. Enroll now for nursery, primary, and secondary level.
Check us out at any one of our 4 locations or contact us today.
Camille's Academy Inc. Be inspired to innovate.
Alley & Sons in the Gifflin Mall is your one-stop shop for all electronics, including laptop computers, flash drives and SD cards, tablets, speaker and stereo sets and the best brands, drum sets and guitars, household appliances, flat-screen TVs, hardware items, and lots more. So check us out today for the most affordable prices. Alley & Sons in the Gifflin Mall, making life better one day at a time.
Very good. And I would now like to welcome you back. We will now hear from the CEO of Global Compliance Inc. And today she'll be talking about what a gap analysis is and what you would actually have to look at when it comes to your company.
Welcome to Global Compliance Service, your ISO certification body with a resident office in Guyana. Many of you may have difficulties or some challenges with the terminologies that you may be hearing when you enter the ISO arena. For example, what is a gap analysis? What is a pre-assessment? And what is the difference between them? A gap analysis is one that is usually done at the beginning of a process when a company, for example, would like to seek ISO certification. The gap analysis is basically done to indicate to that organization their current status of operation and the gaps that are required to be filled by that organization to meet the requirements of international standard. Basically, that's stage one when you're going towards to prepare in your process to implement your management system standard. So you can say at this point, you do not have the quality management system or any management system implemented. Whereas with a pre-assessment audit, the organization has already implemented the management system, whether it be the ISO 9001 quality management system or the ISO 45001 occupational safety and health management system. Now, this pre-assessment is what we will call a mock assessment. Basically, organizations who've implemented a system would want to know how well their system has been implemented and the effectiveness of their system. So they will normally consult with their ISO certification body to conduct the pre-assessment audit. This audit is totally independent of the ISO certification audit. The pre-assessment will provide the organization with an evaluation of its implementation. If there are non-conformities, those will be identified and the organization will have an opportunity to address the corrective actions so that they're better prepared for their ISO certification audit. Also, it gives the organization a good gauge as to where their organization is and the effectiveness of their management system. You will get a report at the end of the pre-assessment audit, providing you with the findings of that audit and your areas for improvement. Whereas with the gap analysis, you're basically provided with a report that tells you of the gaps that you need to identify to develop your management system to attain the requirements for that particular standard that you are pursuing. So there's a difference. The gap analysis are for the newcomers, and the pre-assessment are for those companies who have already established their management system. Call us at Global Compliance Service at 223-6666 for more information and also for information on your ISO certification process. And remember, we also provide training on ISO management system standards that can add value to you and your team members.
Precision, integrity, dependability. It's not just about the people. It's about the services you provide and every piece of critical equipment needed for the job. When failure is not an option. GCS Inspections. ISO certification, a well-known key to securing international business and creating industry juggernauts, has now come to Guyana. Over 1 million certified companies reap the benefits of ISO certification. In a time where consumer dollars are more important than ever before, there's greater expectations for quality and trusted products and services. Quite frankly, Top-tier clients demand ISO certification to gain their trust. No matter the scale of your operations, no matter your niche, there's an ISO for you. Global Compliance Service is a trusted, internationally accredited certification body with an arsenal of industry experts and world-class auditing teams to assist you throughout the certification process. Visit our website and get a free quotation within 24 hours. These are unprecedented times, and we need every advantage to stay ahead. Check out GCS personnel training programs, specializing in the lucrative field of ISO auditing. Our courses are now fully online, ranging from beginner to advanced proficiencies. Become an internal auditor in your organization, or a lead auditor qualified to carry out third-party audits and manage an auditing team. And for the elites, become a GCS Management System Specialist. We stand at the cusp of global change, and we are proud to be an ally in creating a new standard of business in Guyana.
Hi, I'm Denny Tato. I'm founder of Corporate Consciousness. I'm speaking at Leadercast Shift on heart-based leadership. I'm very excited, and I hope you'll join me.
We're very excited that in 2021, August 11th, we're doing our first live show back after, almost 2 years, called Leadercast Shift. And that theme comes from this idea that we've all been through something. The last 18 months or so for all of us have been life-altering, life-changing. We worked very hard to find a lineup of speakers who can speak to this. Guy Raz, who wrote the book How I Built This, has interviewed hundreds of entrepreneurs, many of them who had to shift from what they were doing to start something else. Rainn Wilson, who many of us Office fans love, as Dwight Schrute, he's been able to transition this career on The Office and shift it into co-creating Soul Pancake. Austin Channing Brown will be talking about the shift that we're going through as a country in terms of racial equity. Chris Carter, the NFL Hall of Famer, will be speaking about shifting in your personal life. He has a famous story about his battle with addiction and how confronting that actually made him a different person. But the idea is that we wanted to handpick people who could help us all as we find ourselves in a place that we never thought we would be and might need to make a change.
Hey, I'm Chuck Mingo, the founder of Undivided, and I am so excited to be a part of Leadercast Shift. Hey, who hasn't experienced a shift in the last 12, 15 months? All of us have. And I'm really excited to talk about the shift a leader can make in this moment that we're in to operate from courageous love. I hope you'll be there. I can't wait to share it with you.
Very good. There you had it, our show. And of course, you heard more about the speakers that will be addressing us live from the USA on Wednesday, August 11th from 8:30. So if you don't have a ticket as yet to this leadership event, I would encourage you to make contact with our office. For those of you watching this on social media, share the video, share the knowledge so that we can all learn and grow even faster. And I look forward to seeing you in the next edition. Take care.